Welcome back to the Silly Talk Sports podcast, the preview podcast brought to you by the TAB and Michelob Ultra. Obviously, a big day on Tuesday for Warriors fans. We'll do a bit of a deep dive into that Mitch Barnett news because I think that pretty much broke the internet for all Warriors fans across the weekend, or Tuesday it was. It feels like a couple of days ago already, but still very fresh in the mind. He's leaving the club early, a year early, of course. The reason, extremely valid. I don't have children, but I can only imagine what their family is going through at the moment and the need to be home and around family and more support. So first of all, just hope Mitch and his family are doing all right. I know this was an extremely hard decision for him. It was an emotional one. It's not something he wanted to do. But yeah, 2026 will be his last year at the club. In my opinion, he came here looking for a fresh start. 2023 he arrived, and shit is he over-delivered on anything I ever thought he could be. He's now our co-captain. He's a New South Wales and Kangaroos middle forward, and his impact on and off the field has just been huge. I don't think you can question the other impact he's had on our development lads as well, those young boys coming through. He's just a genuine leader. He demands the highest of standards out of everyone. He leads by example, but when he talks, he speaks really well too. I feel like that side of his game has come on massively, and fuck, does everyone listen? Like when Barney talks, the whole room is silent. I just think he's been massive for our club. I'm excited to see what he does this year. He is so keen to rip in, and he's 100% committed to this year. He's not asking for an early release. It's very different to Adam Fanua-Blake. He wants to lock in. He wants to represent the club to his full ability, back off an ACL, keen to repay the favour, and he's just ready to rip in. So I can't wait to see what this year brings. I was gutted. At the same time, it's a 1 year early release for a guy that's going to be turning 32 years old, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I didn't see it coming until I was told about it. At first, it shocked me, but the more time I've had to process it, the more I just get excited for this year.
Yeah, I'm the biggest thing with that is that I'm really happy that it's done before the season. It can sort of reframe the mind. You can get going. There's no sort of middle ground of people worried about he's going to leave. There's no rumours. It's, I'm here for the end of this season and then I'm going. And I feel like it gets them up for it.
Yeah.
Like you always want to play well for people that are departing the club or things like that. I know when Sean Johnson's last year, it was big on that. So yeah, I'm happy with the timing of it, to be honest. I think it couldn't have happened at a better time. It wasn't a good time. But.
Exactly. There's no good time when you lose a guy like Mitch, and it is still heartbreaking, but it also gives us time to sort an alternative for next year as well and opens up this whole year where we can try and sort that out. And straight away, obviously, Broncos have thrown their head into the mix. I think it's an hour 20 flight from his family home in Taree, so not too far away. And, of course, they have Payne Haas money, so salary cap isn't an issue for them. Parramatta Eels have said that they're keen. Knights, I believe, will be interested, and that's, I think, his preferred location because he literally just wants to be back home. But it's going to be extremely interesting. Cam George has said we won't be letting him go for free. Of course, he's still signed for next year. We will be letting him go, but we want something in return because he's still on contract. And that's exciting to me, the potential of a player swap. There's different options at different clubs, obviously, and it's all around what clubs are willing to let go. End of 2027 is when things get really exciting in terms of free agency as well. So there's a couple targets there. Mitch would have been leaving then anyway. But yeah, look, it's exciting times for the Warriors as we now look to reprioritise. I think Andrew Webster has said it's not 100% that we need a prop straight back in return. We've got a stack of young medals coming through the club, and hopefully over these first few months of the season, we see them take another leap and show that they could go to even more of another level next year. So it's more just the best player that the club can get for an origin and international level asset, which is exciting.
Yeah, I think, like Webby said yesterday on Sport Nation when Millsy and Guy had a chat to him, that then they're really open to it. Like they're not going to be able to just go and get a Mitch Barnett replacement straight off the back. So it'll be interesting to see where they go. I know that people have instantly floated Kalen Ponga. People they want Casey McLean, all this types of things. So it'll be interesting to see where they go.
Yeah, I think realistically, right, like if it's the Broncos, people you're not going to get a Reece Walsh. You're not going to get a Katoni Staggs. You're not going to get a player like that. Someone you could get very quickly, like a Jesse Arthurs. He would fill a centre void for us, an outside back void, and then perhaps we get another player alongside that too. I think you could potentially get a Xavier Willison, whose contract aligns with Mitch in terms of when it ends, end of 2027. And if we want a middle, that would be one of the best gets, in my opinion. In terms of Newcastle, like, I see the Ponga thing, but he's on 1.3. Like,
It's exactly what Webby said. He said, do you guys actually understand how much Ponga's actually on?
yeah, it would be tough to fit him in the cap. I do like as well how Cam George was like, this Adam Fanua-Blake thing blindsided us, but then so did James Fisher-Harris a couple weeks later, being like, well, I want to come home too. And you never know what is out there in the pipeline, right? Like, there's all these Kiwi players, guns, forwards at the moment, Tapane, Nafahu White, Moses Leota, he's off contract into 2027. Could we see a Bash Brothers reunion? Like, those would be the big three there in terms of forwards for me, Xavier Willison from there. But it's just an exciting time to have that amount of money on your cap and be able to make a play for a big name player. Yeah, look, it is heartbreaking, but at the same time, it's exciting. And I genuinely, like, this gives us last ride mentality, right? And we know Mitch Barnett. There's not many tougher blokes who will just lay their body on the line week in, week out. And I can't wait to see what he produces this year. He was already fizzing to rip in off the back of an injury. And now this just adds even more spice to what is going to be an unreal year.
It's a big year. It's a big year for the club, obviously, with the players leaving. So, yeah, we'll see them rip in. I'm slightly optimistic about it all. I think that, like I said before, it's a good time, as good as it could be. And it gives the club time to get a good replacement. Like you said, the Willison, that would be someone I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, there's also guys that need contract extensions and upgrades just internally, right? Like Chanel Harris-Tavita, Tainto Piki and Murata are off contract this year. Then you've got guys like a Jet Cleary, if we want to keep someone like that, Wade Egan, Kalis Fatialofa, like they're going to need top-ups and extensions too. So there's plenty of ways to spend the money. I don't think Kalen Pong is a realistic one, but good to see Warriors fans daring to dream. It's exciting times for sure. Right, predicted ladder.
Wow.
We've teased this for a while, so I reckon we get straight into it. We're going to go 17-1 each of us. Whenever one of us brings up a team and they didn't have them in that position, we'll kind of say where they had them and then talk about where and why. Winning back-to-back wooden spoons, I have the Newcastle Knights.
I do not.
You have the Dragons.
I have the Dragons at 17.
I have them at 16. There we go.
So, and I have the Knights at 16.
There we go.
So
I could give or take those two for sure.
Yeah, I'm not a big... Well, to be fair, I did focus a lot on the 13 teams that I do believe could be in the top 8.
Yes.
And I got to those bottom ones and I'm going, geez, that's you could put them in the wooden spoon, you could put them in 12th. Like, it's such an interesting argument. What are you thinking around the Knights, first of all?
I'm just thinking they struggled to score points last year. I do expect their attack to be a bit better. In terms of backline, exciting. Middle forwards, though, I think they're really going to struggle there. That forward pack doesn't send fear into anyone.
Is it the weakest in the NRL?
I think it's right up there. Yeah. If not the weakest, then the second weakest for sure. And I think Ponga in that, like, you can't just create shit when there's bad ball. We've seen Dylan Brown at times struggle in NRL level when Para haven't had a good pack, and then superstar for the Kiwis. But look at the Rolls Royce pack he's behind. So, look, Trey Mooney, a good buy. But the fact that he straight away becomes that forward that everyone's excited about at the club when he was literally at Canberra for a while.
Good fantasy option.
Great fantasy option. Good to see him named and starting, but like, he was never going to get a look in at Canberra, and now he's there almost.
Which doesn't read well, does it?
No, it's almost their star forward.
Yeah.
So to me, good backline, exciting, Ponga, Dylan Brown, Fletcher Sharp, Dommy Young, like, it all looks good, but I can't see them going forward.
No, I agree. Do you want to go on to the Dragons?
Yes, Dragons, I had second to last, you had last. I just think it's another tough year for them, full of close losses. That spine does not excite me at all.
They're 1 year older too.
Yes,
1
year older.
Quite an old
I
spine.
think I'll like them better when Colin Matangi gets there, but again, just a pretty weak roster when you run across that outside backs, like, not exactly household names. I think similar to last year, they'll be in the fight for a lot of games, but I think most of them will be close losses.
Do you rate the Daniel Atkinson purchase?
I do. I like him as a 6, though.
Right.
I don't understand why he's at 7, Flanagan's at 6. I think Flanagan is a 7 and he's a 6.
Do you think we could see a Daly Cherry Evans, Sam Walker type vibe where Flanagan plays 6 but does a lot of the base stuff?
Potentially. I just can't get it out of my head that Dad doesn't play his son at 7 so that he doesn't cop the limelight for the losses. It's almost like, no, well, he's the 6, not
You got
the
to
7.
front foot that.
Yeah. It's just weird because like King Tonga and all these guys, they've always played 7 as well, and it just makes no sense to me because I feel like Flanagan is a 7. But yeah, I can't see the Dragons going too well. In 15th, I have the Cowboys.
Right. I don't.
Where do you have the Cows?
I have the Cowboys in 14th.
Again, very similar. I think Toddy Payton is the first coach to go. I think he's in a 2-horse race with the Manly coach, which we'll touch on shortly. I think Reid Marnie was a good pickup, and on paper they have a great team. They've had a great team on paper for a while now, stacked with Origin stars. I think they're going to struggle in those Origin periods, and they're a team to me that just concedes way too many points. They get in a shootout, they try score more than the opposition, and that's not really a winning formula, and I think they're going to struggle away from home as well.
They love the Sunday 42-38. Don't they?
Yeah, and it could go either way, that one. Again, good for fantasy. Lots of tries, try assists.
I enjoy watching the Cowboys play, not only because of the attacking. I do think they're a good side. But yeah, I do agree with all your points. It just doesn't excite me. And we've got to preface this, by the way. We haven't had a chat about this. We haven't got lists that just go one after each other. We haven't actually discussed this.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it so that we could get our actual reaction. Yeah. So far we are extremely close. In 14th, I have Manly.
Yeah, and I have Manly at... Wait, I'm a bit lost. 15th.
Yeah, gotcha. So we've literally far just had switches on both. No DCE, Fogarty there. Love that signing when it got announced last year. A little bit colder on it. I mentioned that the Brooks-Fogarty combo doesn't excite me too much. I'd like to see Joey Walsh there instead of Brooks. They still have some talent as well. Turbo, Kola, Homoleola, Kawatu. Like, those are great players. But I think, again, they look light through the middle, and that halves creativity doesn't excite me. So I think Seabold will be... It's him and Payton race to get sacked first, unfortunately, in my opinion.
I like Manly as well. I might just go with I like every squad. But yeah, it just doesn't excite me. And without DCE, that was a lot of their sort of game driver. I know Fogarty's a very good game driver, but it just doesn't... I don't get the same feeling around it as I did. 1 year older for some of their players as well. Some injury concerns from last year. So, yeah, I have them there as well.
Yeah, sort of around way. If he can be healthy, then you could convince me otherwise. But until we see it consistently for a year, then it's going to be tough. At 13th, I have the Titans.
Yeah, I do too.
There we go. I think they're going to be better this year under Hannay. I think we've seen it in the preseason. Still exciting on attack, but they've shown a bit more grit on defence. And yes, it's only preseason footy. But they have all the talent in the world in that back line, and I think they will show a bit more ticker and have an up year. I think Tino's in for another huge one.
Yeah, it's good to see Tino back, and he's re-signed, so there might be a little bit more of ease around his sort of discussions around the club and stuff. So, yeah, I'm excited to see them. They look like an attacking side that are going to really take it to teams. So, yeah, I agree. I think they're going to be all right this year, a lot better than last year.
In 12th, I have the Tigers.
Yeah, I do too.
There you go.
Here we go.
There you go. Good roster. Kai Pearce-Paul, a great pickup. They're going to have Taylor May for the full year. Bunty looking sharp. I like the halves combo. Really rate Adam Dewey at 7. And I'm a Luai fan, despite him being
a grub.
A bit of a grub and a pest. I actually like that because he's willing to back it up too. I would have had them higher potentially, but 12 games against top 8 teams from last year. They have the 4th hardest draw in the competition. And I just think eventually that's going to take a toll. There's too many games that could go either way for me.
Is that's just the luck of the draw, right?
Yeah, they do it through AI. So unless you can hack the AI, which you could probably pay someone smart to do, then yeah, there's literally nothing in it. So tough draw for the Tigers, but I think they're going to be one of those teams that feels like a top 8 side even though they don't make it. So it's going to be like a victory for them in a way, but really exciting roster, great young spine, and I think they're forming something.
I see Sean Johnson said that Adam Dewey could be the Dally M halfback of the year.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Big long kicking game. I think him and Luai's games complement each other really well. He's in my fantasy team. Even though they've got the bye the first week, I've got him on my bench, so I'm hoping that comes true. I rate him as a player, and I couldn't understand why
It's just those injuries.
Yeah, it seems like he's never that heavily favoured, though. It seems like he's always fighting for his jersey, whereas when he is healthy and playing, he looks bloody sharp. So, yeah, I don't mind that call from SJ. It's left field, but I've got a different half winning it. But
So do I.
we'll talk about that later. This is for me where this 1 to 2 wins separates the next 4 teams bracket for me. This is where it starts.
Is this so you've got 11
Yes,
in
I've
your
got
sort of...
11 through to 7.
I completely agree. I had nightmares putting this together with the 11 teams here. And so if I've got a team in 11th, like you could have them in 7th, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. And you have to go a little bit controversial and just hope that like injuries go your way or something, right?
That is
Which is a horrible thing to say. Yeah. But in 11th, I have the Parramatta Eels.
All right, I don't. I have them in 10th. So I sort of kind of have the same sort of opinion as you, I feel. Mm-hmm. But yeah, geez, I wanted to put them higher. They finished really hot last year.
They did. And I think Jonah Pezza, great pickup.
For the 1 year?
Yeah, but like they needed a 6, and I think he will help them. In particular, if Moses does pick up injuries throughout the year, he just slots straight into 7 and has looked bloody good there. I think no Fox to start the year hurts a little. No Zach Lomax, of course. But that's an ongoing bit of a drama there. They might get a player from the Storm, and all of a sudden that fills a big void. But I do think they will be good this year. It's just, maybe you got to account for 4 or 5 games without Moses, and I don't know how many of those they win.
If he stays fit, though, I see Josh Addo-Carr's out as well.
Yeah.
Is that 4 to 6 weeks?
Yeah. So that's a blow too.
It
just
is.
a bit of strike. Their forward pack, not huge household names, but shit, they play well. And like Junior Bolo and that are, but when you think of forward packs scary in the comp, you don't think of them. But like Jack Williams was great last year. They got good depth. Yeah, they're going to be right on the fringe. My 2 best mates are Para fans too, so I just love leaving them out of the 8.
All right, perfect. So that was your 11th, right?
Yes.
Eels, I had them at 10th. So what do you got at 10?
At 10th, I have the Rabbitohs.
Ooh, okay. So
you have them in your 8, do you?
Let me just get this up. Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Should I tell you where I've got them or not?
Yes.
I've got them in 8th.
Okay. That makes sense.
So you've got the Bunnies at 10th.
Yep. So they have tied the 4th hardest draw in the comp. They have 12 games against top 8 teams from last year. I think they played the Storm, Roosters, and maybe Penrith twice. So they have a really tough run. I think an injury in the halves, like if Cody Walker goes down at 35 years young, I think they're in a bit of trouble.
I just want to see them fit. I just want to see them ready to go. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hanging on to it.
Fit, they're a top 4 potential, 100%, and that's where this could hurt me.
That's why I'm in the middle.
Yes, yeah.
They're a top 4 potential.
Yeah.
If they all stay fit, but if they all bugger off, they're going to be 13th or 12th. So I'm sort of in the middle.
Shit, they look good on the weekend. Cody Walker running a mark. That left edge crazy, like Fafita, Trowell, Walker. Like that's a dream right there. AJ's going to get the try score record early this year. But yeah, I just don't trust them to stay fully healthy.
And I don't really either, but I'm hanging on to it.
Yeah, well, if they are, then you'll be right because they'll be in the 8. At 9th, I have the Bulldogs.
Right, I don't. So just letting you know, my 11th is still on the table.
Yes.
And so is my 9th.
Who's your 11th?
My 11th is the Sharks.
Wow.
So that's where I've gone controversial. They're a team that I actually, I'm not afraid to say this, I actually just don't like them.
Yep.
I don't like them. I'm bored of them. They're a very consistent side. They got the same sort of roster. I just don't like them. And I just don't think they're not going to threaten the title. No. So for me, I've put them in 11th based on the fact really that there's other teams that I like more.
I wanted to do that as well.
Yeah. So you can see what I'm saying?
Every year they get an easy draw.
Yeah, they just sneak in.
Is no different. Yeah. Like Mulatalo out is going to hurt them for sure. But I just think based on the draw, they're going to get through. Like they are such an unglamorous team.
They're a consistent side. Yeah. I agree. And they are a top 8 side probably year in, year out. But for me,
I have them at
8th.
Just for the record. The Dogs are my 9th team. They are the team that I have sliding, and I don't feel that great about this.
The Dogs are 9th?
Yeah, it's just that spine for me. Like Connor Tracy, Burden, Galvin, and then Bailey Hayward. I'm not sold on Bailey Hayward as a 9 100%. I think he's a bloody good player. 14 or like a lock. Yes, he's not a genuine out-and-out 9, though. I still think this Mitch Wood, when he comes back, that's going to ask questions. I'm not sure if Galvin's a 7. I think he's more of a 6. Yeah, there's just a bit going on there. Maybe if Leo Thompson was right there from the start of the year, then I might have had them in the 8. I just think one of these good teams is, well, a few of these good teams are going to have to miss, and I have them missing, which, again, don't feel amazing about.
Yeah, so you've got them 9th. Do you want me to tell you my 9th team or where I've got the Bulldogs?
Who's your 9th team?
My 9th team is the Raiders.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, I've gone that way.
Yeah.
I just think the Fogarty, he just gets them around the park so well. Well, did. And I don't know. It's a feeling. That was a gut feeling one that I feel like they're just going to miss the 8 slightly. And there's not much in it.
No. Okay, I have them in 7th. So I have the Dogs in 9th. I have the Sharks in 8th. And I have the Raiders in 7th.
All right, let me just get my list up again.
I just feel like for the Raiders, they have a good draw. They still have a massive pack. 3 out of the 4 of the spine are still there. And I just think that pack alone is going to be good enough to win them games. And then you got Strange, you got KO Weeks. You've still got some strike out wide. So I'm just backing that in to be good enough. And the fact that going to Canberra is so fucking hard and Ricky Stewart will just have them up for it. Again, not
so
a
you're in
glamorous
7th,
team.
right?
Yeah, not a glamorous team, but I had them in there.
Well, there's not much in that. I'm at 9th.
Yep. So your 9 to 7 was?
My 9th was the Raiders.
Yep.
My 8th was the Bunnies.
Yep.
Have you done your 7th yet?
Yep, that was the Raiders.
My 7th are the Bulldogs.
Okay. Fair.
I just think they're going to make the 8.
Yeah.
I just think they've got too good of players. Stephen Crichton,
Yeah.
etc. I just think they're going to be too good to miss the 8.
Yeah.
That's more of a feeling around that one.
Okay, this is where I think it gets a little bit easier. Well, I'm hoping it does.
Well, I think we've pretty much got the same.
Yeah, we've got the same
6 teams,
pretty much.
haven't we?
Left in the mix, yeah. In 6th, I have the Dolphins.
Right.
Stacked squad, deep. Katoa going to another level again this year. Dangerous team, recruited really well, attacking weapons, best attack in the comp last year. And I think with Flegler, Gilbert, Plath, all those guys back, that they are going to be defensively a whole lot improved as well.
Tick from me, I've got them in 6th as well.
There we go. In 5th, I have the Melbourne Storm.
Right. I don't have them there.
You have them higher.
I have them in 4th.
There we go. I have them here. This is Lomax pending, so they could go up once they pull that off.
I'm Pappenhausen pending.
Oh, you think he's back?
Nah, not really from the start, but I think there could be a spot during the year where he does.
I don't mind that. At all. That's a good call.
And
I just think
Craig Bellamy side's not going to finish below
exactly
4th, in my opinion.
Yep. No Katoa, so they lose a big strike weapon there. No Coates for a while. No Paps. I think they'll still be good, but not as strong as last year. And to me, like Munster, Hughes, Grant, health as well. I back Grant to be healthy. Munster and Hughes have both had quite a few long-term-ish injuries there, whereas I think if they have them this year, they just don't quite have the talent around them to be able to get away with it as much as they have in previous years. So yeah, I had them in 5th, and then I had the Broncos in 4th.
And this is where it gets tasty. I do not have the Broncos in 4th.
You have them higher?
I have them in 1st place.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, I got the Broncos winning the minor premiership at least.
Holy shit. Talk to me then.
It's a gut feeling. It's a gut feeling. I think with these 5 teams, we've got the same 6 teams in the top 6. I still think it's very interchangeable.
Yeah.
That's all I've really got.
I just don't trust them to be consistent enough to win the minor premiership. To be honest, like I think they are a team that finishes 4th or 5th and then just goes on this run like they did last year, like stacked on paper, but I feel like this season, in typical Broncos fashion, with like Walshy and those guys, it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster, and I think some curveballs could be dished up during the year.
It's interesting because Hakeem Haas, bit of that last dance, Adam Reynolds last dance.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting watch.
You know how there's you know how there's either the second year bounce or there's that hangover from the title.
Yeah,
I just think they're going to go for it.
Yeah. Shit. That close loss to Hull KR has you fired up.
Oh, it has me fired up. What I saw in the last 20 minutes was enough.
No, fair. And before that was Peter Hiku masterclass, so fair enough. In 3rd, I have the Warriors. Top 4, then we launch into finals footy from there. We have a great draw, which fizzes me up to say. A really good draw. a great final 8 games where we can finish the year with some big wins, head into finals confident. Barnett last dance. We're going to get Metcalf back. We've got depth. We can cope with injuries. We've got a 23, 24-man rotation that can roll out on any day. I think this extended bench is going to help us, this bigger interchange. And I think this is a year that we see success at Mount Smart.
So you've got them in third? I've got the Warriors in fifth.
Okay.
That is based on the fact, I agree with everything you've just said. There's nothing in my mind that disagrees with that.
Yep.
My fifth is there because I think the Metcalf injury in the first 6 or 7 weeks, or whenever it is, that is when we go from either 6th, 7th to 3rd.
Yeah.
If we go well in the first 6 weeks without Metcalf, this is a different story. But for me, I just think that we're going to be in that sort of win-loss sort of ratio when Metcalf comes back. And it all depends on this first 6 weeks for me.
That's fair too. I think we have a pretty tough start to the draw as
Without
well. Like
Metcalf.
Roosters, Raiders, teams like high-quality sides. So I can see that happening too. Yeah, I just think this is the year men's or women's side win a championship. And I'm excited for it.
You can win the championship from 5th.
Oh, 100% you can. I just hope they win it from 3rd.
Yeah.
There we go. 2nd, I have the Roosters.
I have the Roosters in the same spot.
There we go. The Robson injury hurts. He'll be back soon, though. And in Benaya and Connor Watson, they have 2 bloody good replacements right there. They got a big pack. DCE joined Sam Walker. They got strike out wide, deep roster. I just expect them to be really good.
Yep, I agree. I've got nothing else to say. We've got them in the same spot.
And then my minor premiers, which yours were the Bronx. I'm guessing you got the Panthers in... Third, okay. I have the Panthers winning it. I don't feel amazing about it because they have a really hard draw. Arguably the hardest draw in the competition, which is pretty crazy. But I'm still backing them in. I just think Cleary, he got off that suspension. Shout out to his dad who represented him. And
how good is that?
You love to see it. Screw a lawyer. I'm bringing my old man, and shit did it work. I think they'll be motivated. They'll be the most rested that they've been as well. Some nice roster depth pickups. And to me, they're just primed and ready. And I can't see how people are writing them off.
No, I'm not writing them off.
No, well, it's like other... Like Willie Mason
there
and
is.
that have them outside their 8.
I did see that.
And I get that a Nathan Cleary season injury hurts them. But you could say that about 95% of teams because the comp's going to be that close.
I'm sort of in the middle between your premiership and then missing the 8. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I'm thinking... I just think they're going to be too good to miss the 4, and I just don't think they're going to be consistent enough. There might be some injuries around Origin period where they drop off. So that's why I've got them in 3rd.
So, Panthers 1, Roosters 2, Warriors 3, Broncos 4, Storm 5, Dolphins 6, Raiders 7, Sharks 8, Dogs, Bunnies, Eels, all to miss out by 1 to 2 wins.
Yep.
Yours?
Do you want me to go from 1 to 17?
Nah, just go 1 to 8.
1 to 8. So I got the Broncos, the Roosters, the Panthers, the Storm, the Warriors, the what's it called, the Dolphins, the Bulldogs, and the Bunnies in 8th.
Excited, eh?
I don't think there's too much difference in there. There is, but like we said, it's just so tough.
Similar teams, and the ones we don't have, we both agreed were 1 to 2 wins away. I reckon this year is going to be even better than last year's NRL season, which was just off its head. So can't wait to rip into it, which leads us to Vegas. Gets underway this weekend. Unfortunately, 3 of these teams we all have as our bottom 4 teams in the comp. And I think they were saying there's 15 to 20,000 tickets sold, which seems to me like there was that many Warriors fans at the stadium last year. So I think it's kind of summarised in the quality of the games that we have. But you best believe people will still be watching because they're hungry for footy.
100%.
Knights kick us off 3:15 on our Sunday Arvo. They're taking on the Cowboys. Knights $2.45 underdogs. The Cows at $1.57 for me. Good to see Kalen Ponga back and ready to go. Fletcher Sharp getting the start at 6. Dylan Brown at 7. Found that interesting. That's all-out attack. Sandon Smith in the 14. I thought he might have played his way in just because he's a genuine playmaking option, but they've gone for him off that bench. Good to see Trey Mooney get the start at prop. We mentioned great fantasy buy, certainly in my team, so I'm excited to see him rip in for the Cowboys. Reed Marnie, Cowboys debut, I think he'll be really good for them. Other than that, pretty standard stuff like Dearden, Drinkwater, Cotter, Luki, Taumalolo. They got the names on paper, and I think they'll get the win here. In fact, they haven't lost to the Knights since 2021. Factor in, though, the Knights have won 6 of their last 8 round 1 games.
Was just about to say that. I was going, that's a heck of a stat.
Yeah, they love a start. And this is a Knights game where they could win, where the Cowboys just show up and have no clue. So, yeah, this will be an interesting watch. For try scorers, Tom Dearden, he scored a try in his last 5 games against the Knights. He's paying $3.45. Also, Braden Burns, a try in his last 5 NRL games at $2.15, old sideburns. I don't mind him as a first, second, or third try scorer option using that Surly code. And then for the Knights, Dommy Young, 6 tries in his last 5 games against the Cows, $2.30. So those are probably your 3 best options there. Knights or Cows? Who you got? I got the Cows.
Yeah, after you've talked about the Knights' little first game record, it's sort of gone in my mind. But yeah, I do think the Cowboys will win.
I think it'll be close.
Yeah.
Either way.
Scrappy.
Yeah, scrappy. You got one team that loves to score points and one that struggles to. But keen to see Ponga and just that combination with Dill Brown, Fletcher Sharp. Like, that's exciting to me.
I feel like they're lucky that this is the Vegas games and first games. Otherwise, people would be a lot less hype about it.
Oh, imagine this. If this was
Sunday
Thursday night footy to kick off the season, there would be protests down the street.
100%.
They're lucky it's under the glitz and glamour of Vegas, and that gets people excited. The second game, Dogs, $1.38 favourites against the Dragons. That's at 5:30. Burden cleared to start at 5'8", so that's big news for them. Sam Hughes starts at prop for Leo Thompson. Bailey Hayward at hooker. So that'll be a bit of a watch for me. For the Dragons, Setu 2 gets the start. Ex-Warrior, of course. Keen to see how he goes. Then we have Atkinson getting his first run in the Rev V and the 7 jersey. To me, the Dogs get this one. They've won their last 5 straight against the Dragons. Good to see the boys actually... The Dogs have gone with the early blowout method. They put it up on their Instagram.
How good was that?
They were drinking espresso martinis. There was some beers, some cans of beer going around. A few fans not too happy in the comments saying, I hope you guys are there to play footy, not just piss up. But, you get it out of the way early in the week.
Bit of culture, bit of connection.
Exactly. The boys will be bonded. So that makes me sure that the Dogs get up here. For your try scorers, an interesting stat, this one. A Dragons outside back has scored a hat-trick in their in the last 3 straight round 1 games. That is crazy.
A Dragons outside back?
Yeah, has scored a hat-trick in their last 3 straight round 1 games.
Wow. I'm going to go have a look who that is.
Setu 2. I was going to say for 2, but he's going to get 3. So, yeah, that is a pretty crazy stat. For the Bulldogs, Bronson Cherry, their centre, he's scored 6 tries in his last 5 games against the Dragons. You can get $2.90 for him. So I reckon he's a good buy. I've got Dogs, and I've got them winning this one fairly comfortably. The Dragons never roll over, but I think the Dogs should be way too good.
Yeah, should be here. On Tribe, first game of the season, it said that Tui Pelotu's got a double.
Oh.
But it hasn't said a third one.
Not a hat-trick.
Mm.
Perhaps my stats...
Maybe Setu 2 will get
maybe,
a 2 then.
Yeah, there we go. Setu 2 for 2. Maybe my stats, NRL.com, the old almanac has let me down.
Or maybe Tribe.
Yeah, or someone's added some GST
to
some stats, which, hey, not opposed to it. Certainly sold me up the river. But yeah, 2 games that are bums on seats because of the occasion, not the games themselves. But looking forward to having the NRL fully back underway.
Yeah, how good is it? I can't wait. I think... Like we talked about, geez, I'm happy they're the first ones.
Yeah. Next Friday night, I'm feeling
That's where we get going for
Roosters.
Me. Can't wait, though.
That was my Dally M call, actually. Sam Walker.
All right, I'm going to go Katoa.
Yeah?
Is he Katoa?
Yeah, he should have been close.
He's a good footballer.
He's just a pleasure to watch. Those hips, shit, he's good. He is fucking good. Super Rugby. Let's rip in because round 3 this week, and speaking of getting the draw right, I feel like the powers that be at Super Rugby have nailed these first 3 weeks. This week, there's some close games.
Yeah, I'm happy with whether it's the AI or whether it's someone in a room by themselves. Who knows? But whatever they're doing it right. We got Moana Pacifica versus the Force on Friday night. Quick thoughts on that one. We don't have the team list, unfortunately, for that one.
Pukekohe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Moana will be up for this one. Tana made no secret around the fact that they got stitched up with the first 2 weeks. They had key players getting rest last week that I think will be fresh and up for this. They'll want to bounce back. The Force, a team that can show up and won't roll over, but I think Moana should be able to break them down at home. If this was in Perth, I'd be on the Force, But home ground, the deciding factor for me in this one.
Yep, completely agree. And then we move on to the Reds versus the Highlanders. Very good game on Friday night. And I've just got the Highlanders team list.
Here we go.
Ethan de Groot is in there. TK Howden, Lucas Casey. Miller still gets the nod at 10. Timothy Tavatavanawa. Jonah Nareki, a very good player.
Yep.
Been playing very good in the last couple of weeks. He's on the left wing. Caleb Tangitau as well. Pretty much an unchanged back line. Jacob Ratamatavuki Neptons. Do you like him?
I love him. I think he's another... I've gone from Tangitau being a bolter to locked in, and I think Ratamatavuki Nepkins could be a bolter.
Yep, right. Falau Fakatava on the bench.
Oh.
Which is a bit of an interesting one. Adam Lennox gets the start.
There we go.
Then apart from that, pretty much unchanged from there. So what do you think about the Reds?
I find that interesting because earlier in the week, I think the Reds were like $1.90.
They're $1.75 now.
Yeah. They've come in a load, so I thought someone's got a hand of the Landers team list here and changed the odds, but I like that Islanders team. To me, $2.05 is value. This screams an option that I love doing, and that's that either team within 7.5 points, because I think there's going to be a bee's dick between them both. They both play exciting footy. They both like to throw it around. Obviously in Queensland, which gives the Reds an advantage off the back of a bye
Just going to say that, yeah.
So they'll be well rested. And the Landers have had a tough start to the year, right? Crusaders, Chiefs, 2 big games that you don't need any extra motivation to get up for. They'll be grateful for a trip to Brizzy. I'm sure they're excited to be there, but you need to fire up a bit more for this one. That natural rivalry isn't there with a team like the Reds compared to those New Zealand derby games. So, yeah, I think it's going to be tight. I think the Reds get up, but like 3 points in it. So that $2.25, either team within 7.5. Your thoughts?
Yeah, agreed. I think the Reds are going to be able to bounce back after they were average the other week against the Waratahs in the State of Origin. So I think, yeah, I'd go the Reds, but the Highlanders, like we've seen, well, to be fair to the Highlanders, they've played the Crusaders and the Chiefs in the first 2 weeks, who are no slouches, meaning that they're going to be up for the quality of this game.
Yes.
So it should be no shock to them for the Reds to be a good side. So, yeah, if the Highlanders are going to win one in Australia, I'd probably back it to be this one. Then we move on to Saturday afternoon, Fijian draw versus Hurricanes. The Hurricanes should win this by 25, probably.
Yes, Lautoka, which still makes you nervous, even though that first week Moana got the job done. I just think... Yeah, the draw, I've said I'm worried for them, and I'm still worried for them. I think the Canes will be way too good. Harkin in the 10, still no room for Riley Higgins in the 23, which I find a little surprising. Josh Morby at the back, right? We've got updates on Dupasi Kirifi a week away, which is exciting. I saw Kini Naholo 1 to 3 weeks, which seems kind of quick to me. Maybe he's done the old leaves trick that his brother rolled out, but... That's another outside back shitter they spoilt for them. But I'm a little surprised Riley Higgins didn't get in over Punivai in the 23 jersey.
Yeah, no disrespect to Punivai, but I do rate Riley Higgins as a prospect probably over Punivai. I know Punivai can play on the right wing, left wing probably, and both in the midfield as well. So there could be that factor. As well, Ruben Love, 3 to 5 weeks, it says on the release. Harry Godfrey, full season. Brett Cameron still says to be confirmed, awaiting specialist review.
All right.
So we'll see there. Dupasi Kirifi 1 week away. Caleb Delaney. So Cashmore's on the bench as their reserve first 5. Couple of quick changes. Billy Proctor goes into the starting side. Cam Roygaard goes into the starting side. And then Tavita Mafaloa from the bench onto the starting side. What did you actually make of the Hurricanes first week?
I was impressed. I thought at the start they looked like a team that hadn't played the week before and had a up and down preseason with All Blacks coming back late and things like that. But once they got into their game, and it didn't take them too long to be fair, they looked amazing. I think the benefit of having the bye the first week is that in games like this, they're now going to roll out their strongest team because they've had the rest already. And they're not taking any chances with the draw team. So normally when a team goes over there, I like to see the lineup and think, they might rest a few bodies. But this is pretty much Rolls Royce in terms of who's available for the Canes. And I think the odds, like that $1.13 is fair. This is a 13-pluser and a tri-fest.
Yep, lots of points here. So get your Hurricanes players in your fantasy team.
Yes, don't make my mistake. I dropped Braden Yosef for Miracle Failangi.
Oh, no, that's a killer.
About 5 minutes out from kickoff when it was confirmed Miracle was starting. I did not have any Hurricanes outside backs.
Well, I had Finney and Offo.
Yeah.
And he'd scored 2 in 15 minutes. And then he goes over the try line. I'm almost celebrating with people at Sky Stadium. And then he passes it. It was just a nightmare.
Fantasy coach killer.
Yep, fantasy coach killer. We'll skip the Chiefs for Crusaders for one more minute before we get the team lists.
Okay.
But then we go to the Brumbies Blues, which is 9:30 on Saturday night.
Yes.
Brumbies are named an unchanged side.
Strong.
Which you would expect after winning for the first time in 26 years.
Yeah. So the superfood Kale's in there. They got Muirhead. They got all these lads. So they're good to go. This is an exciting game for me. Blues, strong team as well. Your boy is back on the bench again. 2 weeks on the trot.
Barnstorming Barnes.
Yeah, you'd love to see him start, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but good impact off the bench last week.
Great impact. This is a strong Blues team, and I am looking forward to this game because now we get to see this Brumbies team play at home. Not an easy place to go, but I think the Blues have a style of play that can really drag them, like a physicality in the forward pack under Stern Vern and some razzle in the backs that'll make this a bloody interesting contest. And they will be on high alert after seeing what the Brumbies did to the Crusaders. So I feel like nothing about the Brumbies will shock anyone anymore.
No, it won't. And I think for the Blues, Sam Gary comes back after concussion, which is a big in. Off Tonga Fussy, who's been playing at tight head prop.
Yeah.
Just because he's can and he's versatile, but now he's back to his loose head prop at number one. Dalton Papali'i will play his 100th Blues game.
Kelly Dalton's.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Great player. Good leader too. Those two changes in the pack of Ufa and Derry, that just screams physicality again, right? Like two lads that love ripping in and moving bodies.
And then interestingly, they've named the same back line from 9 to 15 for the opening 3 games. So no changes in those first 3 games.
Yeah, tough.
Consistency?
Tough if you're trying to push your way in. I guess there's some guys in there establishing combinations, like a Perifeta hasn't played with Arki. That midfield combo is new as well, and it's experienced. So I think it's the best players available at the moment in those positions. Bodie back next week from the 3-week rest, right?
Yeah, for the Crusaders game.
Just in time for that Crusaders game, so it'll be interesting to see is he off the bench, what the go is there, because I think Zahns look bloody good, and so is Perifeta. So
probably 22 on the bench.
Yeah. This is going to be an exciting game. Blues at $3. There's a bit of value there, but I think the Brumbies are the real deal, and they're a team, if they finish top 2, if they earn themselves home advantage on playoffs, then they are not a team that's not a place you want to go play.
Yep, 100%. We'll move on to Saturday afternoon, the one that we just skipped past, Crusaders versus the Chiefs in Hamilton. And there's some big changes. Wow, big-ish changes for the Crusaders. Tamaiti Williams goes from the bench to the starting role, which forming a massive front row. Tamaiti Williams, George Bell, Fletcher Newell. And then Ethan Blackadder's still at 7, Christian Leo-Willie at 8, Noah Hotham at 9, Kamara at 10, Rivers Rehana is still injured.
Yes.
And then the big change, Lester Whanganuku comes into the 13 jersey. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, they're starting to get back to those All Blacks who haven't been in their environment for long, all starting and back in their preferred positions. Yeah, they're trying to match punch with punch, aren't they? That Chiefs backline has been humming, and the Crusaders, they need to get a win on the board, and they will be fancying their chances still. I think they will love that people are writing them off. They're a team for me that's only going to get better throughout the year, obviously, as the All Blacks establish themselves back in the squad. But yeah, Leicester, he looked improved on the weekend. He will want another big performance for sure.
Yeah, well, that's a heck of a backline when you read it from 11 to 15.
Crazy.
Sevu Reece, David Havili, Lester Whanganuku, Shea Fihaku, who's a very underrated player. Who I didn't actually like initially last year, but Shea Fihaki's
it cracked
better.
me up when he took that shot from about 70 out, and whenever someone says Shea Fihaki now, that is all I remember. But yes, incredibly talented, big body, good in the air, good boot. Like, he ticks every box.
And then we move on to the Chiefs. Let me just get that up. I know that Wallace Satiti is onto the bench for his first appearance of the season, so that's a big one for them. And then, interestingly, they've got Samipeni Finau as their lock cover on the bench.
Oh, don't mind that.
Which is an interesting one.
Don't mind that. So Lord and Tupovati remain starting. Talkeaho still there at a hooker. Wing. Who's on the wings?
So they've got no Kyron Taimoifalau.
Injured or?
No, he's not listed. Well, to be fair, he could be injured. But from what I can see on this team list, he is not there. Let me just get that up for you. Wow. Lalakai Foketi is on the bench, the Wallabies player.
That's a handy lad to have back in the mix on the bench.
Atene Nanai Satoru keeps his place at 15. Moni Narawa comes into the starting lineup from on the bench on the right wing. The coronavirus at 13.
Yeah.
Quintapai, who's very impressive. What have you made of him so far?
Unreal. And that's All Black selection headaches, right? Because Geordie has locked down that 12 jersey for so long, but he's the form 12 in New Zealand at the moment. In my opinion, he's looked bloody good.
100%. So, yeah, Wallace Satiti's the big one for them coming in, and then that's some impact off the bench there. Still got the same as Samasoni, Josh Lord to provide. Simon Parker also comes into the starting lineup.
Yeah, wow.
So what are your thoughts on that game? Let's get a bit of a deep dive into that game. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is the game of the weekend for sure. There's some really good games, but that's the one that you circle as a New Zealand rugby fan. A, because the Chiefs and the Crusaders has been a great rivalry over the last few years. Head up to Hamilton, two teams in very different positions at the moment, probably feeling quite different about their game as well, but both teams stacked with All Blacks. There's some fascinating one-on-one battles and amongst the bigger battle too. I just think the Chiefs are going to get the job done, eh? I would obviously have loved to see D-Mac back, but he's still another week away, I believe. He's been training, but wasn't available for selection this week. Cortez Ratama out as well, right, with baby?
I'm pretty sure, not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure the baby has come.
Right.
He'll be back next week probably.
Yeah, gotcha. So a couple, look, that's not their preferred 9 and 10, but still bloody good options. And I think the home ground factor will be massive for them as well. I just think at the moment, yeah, the Crusaders, they're a fascinating watch, and I think it's going to be incredibly tight. But I back the Chiefs. That forward pack is just so physical, and they have flair. They can turn half breaks into points. They just play a style of rugby that I think at the moment could potentially be too much for a Crusaders side. And just when you look at those pivotal positions, I kind of got the Chiefs ranked ahead of them, in particular in the 10 jersey.
Yep, 100%. Just quickly, with the Crusaders going into their new stadium in April, under the roof, dry weather footy, is that going to be an issue for them?
I think it's taking away arguably their strongest asset, right? Be interesting to see if they just turn the sprinklers on pre-game, things like that.
Open the roof, get the rain in.
When you think about them, right, like box kicking, force teams into errors, kill you at set piece, still got plenty of strike, but that's the type of game they've played, is prey off other teams' errors, go up in threes, capitalise off ill discipline. They were just clinical. And the roof suggests more a Highlanders style of play.
Well, first one, Highlanders, under the roof in Forsyth Bar. They lost that one. I'm not saying the Crusaders are done and they're going to lose every game
Sounds
now.
like you are.
Yeah, maybe I am as an Aucklander.
I hope they are, yeah.
But now, and then also last week against the Brumbies, dry, afternoon footy, no sort of scrummaging set pieces.
Yeah.
And they lost that too.
Yeah, I spoke to James Marshall about it. He was excited because he was like, now our players get to show off their skill set. Like, imagine Will Jordan under the roof. And they do have plenty of razzle. But, yeah, it's going to be something interesting to see how it plays out 100%, because when you think of Crusaders, you don't often think running rugby. They're going to bounce back shortly. It's just when it is. And I hope it's not this weekend. And I hope it's not next weekend either. And I hope it's not the weekend after. I hope they're on 5 to start things off and then they launch. But yeah, that's a heck of a game. And Crusaders at $3, you could also convince me that they win this game, and that is amazing value too. But I got the Chiefs in a tight one. Any Super Rugby multi this week? Have you got any? Give us your 6 results or 5 results. Okay, I'll go Moana to win. I'll go the Landers, either team within 7.5. I'll go the Canes 13 plus, and I will back in the Chiefs. And I will chuck that in a multi. Blues Brumbies, you're leaving that game out? I am leaving it out. That could be another one at either team within 7.5, but at the same time, I could just see the Brumbies winning by like 10, 12 points and it being a multi-killer. I think there's try scorers to be had in that Moana Force game and in that Drua Canes game in particular. Outside backs, loose forwards, get amongst it, and I think it could be a nice little day at the TAB. Yep, 100%. Couple of other things on the mind is T20 World Cup. Yes, by the time people are listening to this, the Black Caps would have just played this morning, so hopefully they get up and get a dub. We obviously got rained out on that first one, so we need to bank some wins now. And should I check the forecast? Yeah, check the forecast. Is it Colombo? Go on, yeah. We are playing Sri Lanka, aren't we? The host, so I'm assuming it is over there. Fingers crossed for no rain, and we can get a win. If it's looking like we're losing mid-innings, then it can piss down. Absolutely. Mostly cloudy, 27 degrees, humidity 81%. Yep. Okay. Wind 18 kilometres, but sun. Shout out to the West Indies, who put up 254 the other day against Zimbabwe, who have been the giant killers, but I believe that's the second highest total ever in a T20 World Cup, and they're a team, if we don't win it, and they go through, I will be getting around the West Indies for sure because they look like a bloody good time. South Africa obviously pumped India, and England, Bears ball, going all right.
Yep, 100%. Two more things. Sam Ruthe,
Yes.
743, 3K.
That's fucked. That, I reckon, like a K and a half, I would punch that out in.
A K and a half.
Like that would
7
be my
minutes?
time.
Yeah, yeah. If you were like, if we were like, I think I'm about the same. I'd be, if I was like sprinting a K and a half,
Yeah.
I'd be close to
Because
that
I always
probably.
remember like 5-minute Ks is a target for most people,
Yep.
right, who are reasonably fit.
Yep.
To do 3 Ks in that time is just freakish. His sister's a bloody good runner as well. The dad seems like a bloody good lad. They're just a cool, like, Kiwi family, eh? And they almost don't realise how talented they are until now, where they're getting all these accolades. But send them to the games, man.
Something to get behind. Last thing, we've got a bit of a new segment coming in the next couple of weeks with the Warriors. Do you want to give a little bit of a thought process around that?
Yeah, so we're going to do a bit of biggest takeaways from Warriors games, and it's going to be a bit more of a deep dive in particular around just the little parts of the game. Obviously some standouts, but more tries, what led to those tries, a bit of play breakdown, things like that. It's certainly one for the Warriors purists. It'll come out on a Monday after the Monday pod drops, and we're hoping for it to be a 15 to 20 minute Warriors deep dive where you can get your fix. And if you're a real rugby league diehard like both of us are, then perhaps you can go a bit deeper into the game. And of course, I'll always find positives for sure, but it'll be good to really dissect those Warriors performances. So looking forward to that. In the meantime, though, enjoy your Vegas footy, enjoy your Super Rugby, gamble responsibly, have a couple Michelob Ultras on Sunday, as you watch the lads. It's in America, that NRL. So it'd be rude not to rip into an American beer. You're going to full time?
Yes, I will be there,
They've got it on tap there, so lucky you,
Brilliant.
mate. Enjoy low carb too, so it won't affect your 1.5K time when we run that eventually.
Couple of weeks.
Put it to the test. But go well, catch you back on Monday. Enjoy the weekend of sport.